Hey, Johnny Johnson here with Fishing with Johnny Johnson television show on Fox Sports Arizona. We're here with a good friend of mine, Josh Bertrand from the Bassmaster Elite Series, and right now he's running Rookie Angler of the Year, coming off a great finish at Falcon Lake. Josh, there's a lot of people here out west and here in Arizona that are really watching you, and you've really inspired a lot of new fishermen too. Why don't you tell us a little bit of how your experience is going right now?
Yeah, well, I mean, first off, I really appreciate it. To be out there, having the chance to really fish for a living, along with my guide service, and fish with some of the guys that have been my heroes forever, it's really special. And then seeing a lot of my heroes from back home, like you, that are watching me out there fishing, it means a lot, and it's a really special deal. So it's cool. Man, it's great to just have that. But boy, the highs and lows, when you're trying to do this for a living, are pretty incredible. 1 minute, you catch a key fish or you get a break, you find something special, or there's times you're just feeling good, and it's just amazing and greatest thing ever, and then you lose a key fish and it costs you $10,000, or you have a breakdown on the road, you miss your family, you miss your girlfriend. So I mean, there's a lot of highs and lows with the whole experience, but man, I mean, I've looked forward to doing this for my whole life, and it takes a lot of hard work. I'm really working hard to try to stay competitive and be competitive with these guys, and they're good, so it takes a lot of work.
You've been very dedicated, and I'll tell you what, just a few things of questions from some of the fans I know at home. We had one fan that actually emailed the show and asked to ask Josh Bertrand how he actually breaks down a new lake. From us coming out from the deep, clear lakes like we have here in Arizona, what's it like to go back there and fish for the first time and actually try to break a lake down for the first time you've seen it?
Sure, well, that's a good question. And whether it's a brand new lake or a lake that you maybe haven't been to in a long time, I'm learning as I go. But for me, my best luck has been just trying to simplify everything that I can simplify. First, you need to look at the time of year, break it down into 4 parts: spring, summer, fall, and then winter. And, generally spring and fall, you're going to be fishing back in creeks and coves. Winter and summer, you're going to be out on the main lake. So, you start out there just as a general guideline of the depth that you might be fishing and all that kind of stuff. And then a lot of it's just getting out there and fishing. Have some baits that you have confidence in. When you're fishing new water, the last thing you want to do is have something on the end of your rod that you're not even sure you can catch a fish with. You need something that you can catch fish with. For me, a lot of times that's a crankbait. I love throwing crankbaits, and it's a good way to cover water. And my first day out on the lake, I'll have 2 or 3 crankbaits rigged up along with some other stuff. But it's just trial and error once you're out there. And again, just trying to keep it simple. Pick one big creek, one big cove that might historically be known, as a better area, and just work the whole thing, and just kind of let the fish tell you where they're at. But definitely don't try to run around the whole lake on your first day out there, unless you're just trying to get an idea of the conditions. You spend more time sitting right here than you do in the front. You're not going to catch any fish.
That's right. Yeah. Well, the other thing is that there's a lot of folks asking. That we got a couple of questions here. One of them is for the new anglers. How do you, I realize this is your first year in the Elites, but you did the Bassmasters Opens, and you were the Angler of the Year for the Central Opens last year, which is great. But there's a lot of young anglers out there that are real curious to see, how do I be the next Josh Bertrand? How do I get out there on the water and I want to be in the Bassmasters? What is it going to take for these youngsters to follow their dream like you've done?
Well, it's very possible. Every year you see a couple new guys arrive on the scene. Brandon Palaniuk, Brandon Card. I've got a long way to go before I can accomplish what those guys have accomplished, but hopefully I'm headed in that direction, and I'm able to stay out there and fish with these guys for a long time. And a couple things that have really helped me. First off, just make sure you surround yourself with the right people. I had some mentors as a teenager all the way up through now that I've been able to look up to, take advice from, and just guys that have their head on straight, respectful, and just don't be afraid to ask a lot of questions. When you get to go out and fish with these guys, ask away. Just be a sponge and soak it all in. And when you're really young, I mean, just fish as much as you can. You know what I mean? You gotta stay focused on school and all that stuff, because that actually ends up being very important too. I mean,
Sure.
You've got to be, once you're able to actually get out and catch some fish, and you put yourself in a position in tournaments to maybe move up to the next level, sponsorship becomes pretty important.
You bet.
I mean, better than anyone else, being able to get out there and kind of go through things the way that you need to, look presentable, talk
That's
presentable, all that good stuff. And that just comes, I took a couple years of business classes in college.
There you go.
I mean, that certainly helped,
Yeah, I mean, for getting sponsors, things like that, it's all about, being the man. I mean, being able to talk right, being able to, go in there and actually, present yourself in a fashion that you'd want that sponsor evidently to he'd want to sponsor you. You know,
absolutely.
the clean cut, the
and
whatever.
They want someone that's going to be a good spokesperson. And you know what? I mean, the better you come at selling yourself, the better you're going to be at selling your sponsors' products. And on that same note, another thing is, it's great to have sponsors, but never settle for a sponsor that is not a sponsor that you believe in. Make
That's
sure that
right.
you use their products, that you're comfortable with them, and something that you're going to want to have for a long time. Just to be able to say you're on a pro staff, sure, that's cool, but it doesn't do you any good if you're not using the product.
That's right.
And if you can't confidently tell people that you use it and you love it, it's just not going to work out. So make sure, it's worth holding out for the right companies, and that's something I've done, as every sponsor that I've got,
well.
and likewise with you, companies that you really believe in.
Longevity, it's awesome. One other big question
Please.
that everybody's asking, and I even got to ask the same question, is when you hit the big elites like that, you're getting ready to head off, you're launching your boat, whatever you're doing, you look to your left, and there's Ricky Klon. You look to your right, there's KVD, and you're fishing against all these guys, and the guys that we all watch on TV all the time, the guys that have been there and done it. What is the mental attitude you got to go into this game with, being a rookie?
Man, and that's definitely a tough thing, and the best thing that I've found is, just trying to focus on the fishing. There's a lot of different factors going around, even fishing a local tournament, you've got guys that are catching them real good in practice, some guys that aren't catching them real good, and you're hearing the rumors about this and the rumors about that, and trying to just kind of rid yourself of those rumors will really help your game. And it only gets harder as time goes on. Like you said, when Kevin Van Dam is sitting right next to you, he's going to go out and catch him. There's no doubt.
Yeah.
But you know what? If you go out and catch him yourself, you can compete with him. And
Exactly.
it doesn't matter what he gets. You've got to focus on your fish and kind of do your own thing, stay within your own limits. And that's one thing. I've asked a lot of the guys out there. What suggestions do you have? And they said, just do your thing. Don't try to do what KVD does. He may be able to cover water a little bit faster than you and most everyone else, but you know what? You don't have to. I mean, do your thing, and focus on your fish, and you'll be all right.
Well, I'll tell you what, we wish you the best of luck. We're all out there watching, and I know you're going to do well. No pressure added.
Oh, well, hey,
but
I really appreciate
we're
it.
excited for you, and I'll tell you what, we're also proud of Clifford Perch and John Murray.
They're great
and
guys, great
we're
mentors.
really proud of those guys, and so we sure appreciate you being on the show. And thanks so much for the info.
Thank you for the
that you can
opportunity.
give to everybody. Okay.
Thank you very much,
Thank you
Johnny.
so much, and good luck.